The gaming season in 2024 has started, and the first game I'm playing this year is Helldivers 2. To give you a brief history of my history with Helldivers, I'm pretty sure it was on PlayStation Plus. Back in the day, it was a free game for the month, and I played it a little bit. If it wasn't, I bought it and I played like one mission, but it wasn't until 2023. Played pretty much every piece of content, got the platinum for it. So I was a big fan of Helldivers for like 3 months before Helldivers 2 came out. I'm not gonna sit here and say I was anticipating Helldivers 2 for the longest because I didn't play the games. But if I had played the games, then yes, I would have been anticipating this. But when Helldivers 2 was announced and I completed Helldivers 1, I was anticipating it. But this is going to be my review of Helldivers 2. Do you want a very democracy oriented intro? The year is currently unknown. Bugs are spreading across the galaxy. Cyborgs are being created, and they are now called automatons because they have secret identities that must be concealed, like we don't know you're cyborgs. I don't know how you became a new enemy faction because you were eradicated, but here you are. And now you must be destroyed because democracy calls for it. That could have been better. I should have wrote a script. It could have been a whole lot better. But with that being said, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the gameplay. The gameplay is very different from the original one. The original game is a twin shooter, top down, and I only played a couple of top-down shooter games. The Halo game being one, but I played that with my ex, who is no longer here. Shout out to her if she watches my content. That's a 2022 RIP. But let's not get down on this because Helldivers 2 is amazing. It's all about comedy. It's all about bullets flying. It's all about rockets coming off screen and blowing you up, and you asking, how am I supposed to know that that rocket was gonna hit me in the face? That's what Helldivers 2 is about. In this one, the game is now third person. The gunplay, in my opinion, is way better. Maybe it's just because I am a huge sucker for third person shooters, and they are probably my favorite genre. I'm a huge fan of the games. The gunplay feels very smooth, and there's only a couple of weapons that you can really use once you get to the higher level content. And I've played up until level 6s, I think, 7s. Pretty sure it's extreme difficulty. Maybe it's one after that. I don't remember. I have 2 of the 3 hard trophies. The only one I'm missing is Gone in 360 Seconds, which I've not even attempted yet, but I will eventually get. One of the things that I dislike though about the gunplay specifically in this game is how you have to stand still to actually shoot your gun and be fully accurate. And a lot of times you have enemies that just charge at you and you can't stand still, because if you stand still, you're going to die. And although dying is a democratic process that you must deal with to eradicate the universe of this threat, I still would very much rather not die. So that's my one complaint, how you have to, in order to be fully accurate, you have to stand still. Now, you don't have to fully stand still. You can move a little bit once you get the hang of how the aiming works, but a lot of times you feel like you're missing your shot. Overall though, I think that the gameplay in this game is better than the first one. Like the team fire is still there, or the team killing is still there. The resource collecting is still there. Everything that was crucial to Helldivers 1 is the same in this game. The only difference is there's like a new enemy with the Bow Titan, and I think Hulks were technically in the first game, because the first game they look similar to the other enemies, but there was nothing that was a Bow Titan, I don't think. Even the braid ball style thing wasn't in the first one. There are a lot of enemies in this game. Most of them are similar to the ones that was in the first one, but now from a third person perspective, I feel like they felt they could throw more enemies your way. And the difference between the first one and this one is that the enemies in this one don't feel bullet spongy. I do, however, feel that there will be a problem to where they will see that people are using the railgun and the shotgun breaker shotgun a lot, and they're going to see that that's what everyone's using, and they're going to nerf them. But it's not that those guns are overpowered, it's just that the other guns are weaker. That's why I want to see other loadouts being viable, because when you're going into level 6s or 7s to where you know there's going to be multiple Bow Titans, you're pretty much saving your stratagems for those. And when there's 3 or 4 chargers coming at you, you need the railgun to break their armor on the legs off. And FYI, if you didn't know that, now you know how you can easily defeat the chargers. And when I first started playing this, chargers were like the deadly enemy that I wanted to avoid at all costs. Now that I know how to do it, and I've been playing for 50 plus hours now, I think I'm currently level 23, 22. Somewhere's in there. Chargers are like the little small bugs to me. They're so easy to deal with now. And that's the problem with the gun. Like, it's the only thing that can deal with a charger. There's nothing else that I feel like can break their armor. And the other things that are like anti-tanks, who wants to use a gun that you get back every minute plus when there's 3 or 4 chargers coming at you on the higher difficulties? No one wants to do that, but overall the gameplay is fun. Since this is a live service game, I feel like I need to do a specific part about the monetization. The monetization in this game is very, very good. Nothing costs more than $4, I believe. But the problem with that also is that the same armors that you can purchase have the same stats as everything else. Like, if you're putting money into something, I would expect the stats to be a little different. And then you have people complaining about pay to win. But to me, if it's cheap and it's only like $4, I don't mind it's pay to win. Specifically because you can earn in-game currency in the game. So you can get any skin you want if you put time and effort into it. In a game like this, I feel like pay to win isn't that big of a deal. Now, if it was something like Overwatch per se, to where there were specific skins that cost $20 that gave you more defense or something, then yes, that would be a problem, because there is currently no way to buy the skins in Overwatch with in-game currency. But in Helldivers, I have already bought the premium war bond all through credits earned through the normal battle pass, or earned just by scouring the map and earning them that way. And I think I'm currently up to like 800 again, so I'm super close to being able to buy the next war bond whenever it may release. So I praise this game for the monetization of it. Unfortunately though, with that gameplay, this game has something that a lot of developers feel like they should include it for whatever reason, but a lot of people hate, and that's sprint cooldown. I've literally had to buy another PlayStation controller in the time of playing this game because I've had to hit sprint so many times. And this game, for some reason, even when you expend your sprint, it does not start resetting your cooldown when you have sprint held in. No, you have to let off of sprint even though you're not sprinting in order for your sprint to recharge, which I hate that. I hate that in games. I don't want a sprint cooldown. There's no reason to have a sprint cooldown in this game. It doesn't affect the gameplay to make it more challenging or anything. It's more of just an annoyance. And if I could change any one thing about this game right now, remove the sprint cooldown. Like, you're not dying because you run out of sprint. You're not dying at all. You can outrun most of the bugs. And the bugs that you can outrun, the breaker shotgun deals with them relatively easy. Any gun really deals with them relatively easy. Even the assault rifle will deal with them. So I don't get why they felt the need to put the sprint cooldown in there. Gameplay wise, that's probably my one and only complaint. Other than the aiming, to where the reticle is like moving left and right like you're drunk or something when you're moving left or right. Do they not know about counterbalancing your gun? If I'm moving left, I probably should aim more right. You don't have to have my reticle jumping all over the screen like I'm drunk. I know how to compensate for directional movement when I'm aiming. Those are my only 2 complaints about the gameplay. Now, this section is going to be from the technical perspective. When this game first came out, there were a lot of issues. There were matchmaking issues. The matchmaking issues currently has been fixed. You can join into any game via quick play and it will find a game within 1 or 2 seconds. However, my rating is going to be based off of how it was when I first played the game up to now. It's not going to just be, oh, they fixed the issue so it's good. No, there were issues within the game on launch, and one of those were matchmaking, a key essential component to this game. That was fixed. And then another patch was released, and that patch then made frame rate issues. As you can see, there's going to be gameplay here specifically of the frame rate issues you have. I feel like it was a memory leak of something, because it seems like this always happened when people would join into your group and then they would leave or something. But I do have to say that over the last few days, I have not had this issue. However, it was still an issue and there were some people reporting on it still. It happened to me. It hasn't happened to me in a while. I don't know what caused it, but I ended up having to reset my game when it happened. And this is going to lead into the next problem. These queues up until today. Okay, yesterday I could log in without any queue times, and yesterday is when they implemented the 15-minute kick time. If you didn't move for 15 minutes or something, you'd be kicked to the title menu. So that issue has been alleviated, although I guess time will tell. Tomorrow is Saturday. I don't know when this review will go up. Today is currently Friday, although it's technically Saturday. It's currently midnight on Saturday, so this isn't middle of the day. I may play some Helldivers 2 after I finish this review, so we'll see if the weekend crowd is now making it so that you are still in a queue. But the queue time was alleviated. However, when I had the FPS issues, I dreaded those because I would have to close the game and then would have to wait for 30 minutes to an hour just to get back in the game because of those technical issues. But honestly, those were the main issues. There's currently issues where text is missing from the game. The game will disconnect you randomly. But it seems like in this game, every time they fix something in a patch, something else breaks. And this sounds like Overwatch. This sounds like Destiny. This sounds like the games that I played that just, they can never fully fix everything. They can fix this and then this will break. It just boggles my mind how this happens. But that's 2024 gaming. But I think that's going to be it for this review. You know, the good in this game outweighs the bad. The co-op in this game, playing with friends, playing with people you randomly meet online, it's fun. And if you're someone who plays solo, there's no reason to play this game solo. There's literally no reason to play this game solo. You just click quick join and it throws you into a match. And as long as you don't have people trolling you or you don't have people team killing you or anything like that, maybe if the idiots realize that everyone gets credited for resources is picked up, they won't kill you. And especially if you're on higher difficulties and you start getting super rare samples, from what I understand, you lose those if you die. But I haven't played on those difficulties yet, so I can't attest to that, but I'm just gonna take the word for it. Point being, you shouldn't team kill people. If you're solo, just join up a group. It's super quick and it makes the game more enjoyable. It makes it less stressful. You know, knowing that you have 3 people on your back if you go down. Although I do admit that I hate dying to other things in this game. And I understand Teamfire is part of this game. It was part of the first game. The abilities, just you know, you're surrounded by enemies and someone has a mortar strike and the bugs are running at you and you just can't get far enough away from the bugs. You can outrun the bugs, but the distance isn't gained. It's just a neutral distance and you still die by the mortar strike. I don't mind dying in funny ways by my team when I play with them. I die buying by things that's fully out of my control. I just can't outrun these bugs. And the mortar strike just so happens to hit in the very center of us to where it knocks me halfway across the map and then it knocks them into hell because they're probably dead at that point. But the complaints in this game are so few. There's nothing I really can complain about. The tech issues are being worked out. The game itself is super fun. I wasn't expecting the game to be as fun as it is. Just seeing how the procedurally generated things are on the map, the objectives, the abilities you can use, it feels like a lot of the orbital strikes are pretty good. You know, I feel like things should be brought up to the power of the breaker shotgun, the rail gun, the shield. Things should be brought up to those levels because, as I said, the hardest I've played is either level 6 or 7. I don't remember which one specifically, but it really feels like on those you only have to go into it with a specific loadout or you're going to be hindering yourself. But for the most part, the orbital strikes and things like that, those seem fine. Maybe increase the radius of the 500 kg bomb a little bit. It's just the guns that I feel like needs a lot of work in this game. But with that being said, I would rate this game before I take a point. Do I want to dock a point? I'll dock half a point off of the game for the technical aspects. I would give this game an 8.5. Yes, I would give it a 9 if it didn't have the technical aspects. but it's too good to dock a full point. The game is fun. It's mindless fun. There is a sense of progression with the war bonds. You farm to unlock the stuff. It feels like you're becoming more powerful, although you're not, because your damage never increases with any additional levels. A level 1 does the same damage as a level 20. A level 20 just has more weapons at their disposal, so they have the better weapons. But if somehow a level 1 gets the breaker shotgun, the level 1's doing just as much as a level 20 would. But with that being said, this is where I'm going to wrap up this review. This is a great game, and just being very early on in the year, I feel like this game has game of the year potential. The only other game that I know for sure that I'm playing this year is Rise of the Ronin, and I'm going to be doing that co-op. So I guess we'll see what other games come out. Like, I can't even tell you any games that come out this year other than Rise of the Ronin. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have not played Helldivers, I would suggest you play it. Even if, don't play it solo. There's no reason to play it solo, I'm telling you. It is so easy to matchmake with people. And if you encounter people who kill you or whatever, then just find someone else, because of all the times I've played, I only know of one instance when someone intentionally tried to kill someone and they threw a strike when 2 of us was getting on the ship. And it was like a level 10, so I immediately left them. I immediately left that group once the match was over. And I can tell you that if there was not higher level people who joined in that knew what they were doing, they were going to have a hard time because they didn't know how to kill the chargers. So good luck to you, dude. When you have someone in the game who actually knows what they're doing and knows how to take down some of the enemies, you're probably going to have an easier time. If you have someone who wants to troll people and you don't even know how to kill the most basic of enemy in a charger, good luck. Maybe you should learn more about the game. Stop trolling. Thank you for coming to my James talk. Okay, I think I said that's going to be it multiple times now, but this is it. Go out and buy the game. If you want to play it solo, but I'm telling you there's no reason to play it solo. This game is one that definitely deserves all the praise it's getting.